Oh boy, did Jonathan Kuminga's contract gamble fail. A man who once wanted $20 to $25 million per season settled for a whole lot less. Now, he's going to play for the Minnesota Timberwolves on a 2-year, $12.4 million contract, coming out to about $6.2 million per season. Shams came out right after the contract details and said that Kuminga was actually offered a starting role in LA with the Lakers on a 3-year and about $12 million per season kind of deal. However, he said he wanted control over his future, which is weird to say because now he's going to the Timberwolves on a 2-year deal, making half of the amount of money per season when he could have gone for one more season in LA and make double the money each year. It truly doesn't make any sense. However, it's already been announced that Jonathan Kuminga will be in the starting lineup with this team alongside Ant, LaMelo, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert. So good for him. He gets the starting role, even though he would have had that in LA too. But I think it's time for him to sit down with his agent and really figure out where things went wrong. And actually, it's probably time he fire his agent. As we know, most recently, Kuminga was coming off of the bench for the Hawks, and so far in his career, in his 5 years, he hasn't shown that he's worth $20+ million a season. So hopefully, in his new role, he can prove that he's actually worth that or even somewhere close to that. So, what can Jonathan Kuminga do for the Timberwolves? Kuminga is really good at getting to the bucket with his aggression and athleticism. He also can be one of the top defenders on the team. Last season, he played 36 games for both the Warriors and the Hawks, and in those 36 games, he started a total of 14 games. With that, he averaged about 12, 5, and 2 on the season, and coming off the bench, he was shooting the ball about 9 times a game, converting it to about a 46% clip. So that is good to see that. If he has the ball in his hands and he's able to shoot, he's going to convert it at a pretty good rate. Now Kuminga is entering his 6th season in the NBA and still trying to pave his way into a prominent role on a team. While struggling to do so, he has shown some flashes of being a dog on the court. However, it never seems to convert into a consistent role or consistent results. In his 5 seasons in the NBA, he's never found himself as a consistent starter. In the 2023-24 season, that's where he started the most games, 46, and the second most is 16. Now he'll be coming into a starting role and take over the hole that needs to be filled from Naz Reid being traded to the Hornets. And this signing is actually good for both sides. While it's less money for Kuminga, he's now in a starting role like he would like. And at the same time, the Wolves are really close to that second apron, so this cheap signing really helps them get a starter. Now, while Garen and I continue to talk about it on the podcast that the Wolves are going to be a really good in-season team, this signing of Jonathan Kuminga probably won't help them that much more come playoff time. In the West, they're still going to have to face off against teams like the Spurs and the Thunder, who probably will still toy with this team. I am truly just amazed at how this negotiation got fumbled so bad. For a guy who wanted $20+ million, they didn't even sniff that when it came to the final deal. And truly, how did his agent tell him it was a good decision to walk away from the Lakers deal, which would have been 3 years, $12+ million per year? Truly another Cam Thomas situation where a player gambled on himself. However, Jonathan Kuminga actually is talented, and he's not one-dimensional like Cam Thomas, who can only shoot. And I'm sure any day now we're going to see how bad Jalen Duren's camp has fumbled his deal, because that one has gone pretty silent. And we truly wish Jonathan Kuminga luck in this new role, because this is the best opportunity for him to prove that he should be a prominent player in the league. Comment below. What are your thoughts? How is this team going to do with the addition of Jonathan Kuminga? Does it move the needle much? Also, what do you think the future is for Jonathan Kuminga?